She said her boss was harassing her. I found her riding him in his office, blouse open, his hand tangled in her hair. That lying slut played victim while screwing her way to a promotion. My jaw locked. I didn't interrupt. I documented everything. Her raise came with consequences. She said her boss was harassing her. That's what she whispered in bed one night, curled against me like I was her only safety. She trembled when she said it, even let a single tear fall onto my chest. Said his name like it tasted bad. Travis, she muttered. He stares too long, makes comments. I believed her. Of course I did. I told her I'd support her no matter what. That if she wanted to report it, I'd be right there with her. That maybe it was time she left the job. She nodded, said she'd think about it. 2 weeks later, she was working late again. Downtown branch. Bank Tower. 19th floor. Friday night. I knew because I checked. I checked everything now, phone logs, shared calendars, even credit card swipes. And that night, I followed her. I sat in my car across the street, engine off, windows cracked. Watched the lobby lights glow like a stage. At 9:23 p.m., she walked in. Tight black skirt. White blouse. Heels I hadn't seen before. And 5 minutes after, Travis followed, same man she'd called a predator. Blue tailored suit, wedding band flashing under the fluorescence, confident gait. No fear. No shame. No harassment. Just anticipation. I didn't move. Just watched. At 10:41, the building emptied out, except one window, still lit. Her floor. I could see silhouettes. Hers, pacing. His, leaning. Then the pacing stopped. She stepped into him. Their shadows merged. His hand reached behind her neck. She didn't resist. I wanted to vomit. Instead, I picked up my phone and hit record. My name is Jordan Blake. 36. Software engineer. Quiet type, mostly. I make good money, 6 figures, work from home freedom, full benefits. Built a calm life, if not an exciting one. I married Laura 7 years ago. We met at a 4th of July barbecue. She laughed at my dry jokes, told me she liked men who didn't talk over women. I thought she was different. Thought I got lucky. She's 32 now. Still beautiful. Red hair, pale skin, that librarian meets fox look that gets attention even when she's just buying groceries. She works in finance, compliance officer at West Bank. Smart. Calculated. Controlled. And apparently a lying, cheating bitch. I'd been noticing shifts for months. Phantom texts. Midweek blowouts. Clothes a little tighter, makeup a little heavier. She said she was just stressed. That Travis kept cornering her at work. That she hated him. She didn't hate him. She moaned for him. I heard it. Through the walls. Through the static. Through the recording I made the next week when I planted a baby mic under the conference table in the executive office. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't paranoid. She played me. Said she was a victim while screwing her way to VP. Told her friends she was surviving corporate toxicity. Told me she was exhausted from fighting off advances. Every lie, every tear, rehearsed. And I let her. Until I didn't. Next morning, I sat at our kitchen island. Laura walked in wearing one of my hoodies, sipping coffee from the mug I got her on our honeymoon. I'm thinking of quitting, she said. Why? I asked. Too much pressure, she murmured. Travis crossed a line again. I stared at her lips. The same ones that kissed his name into a boardroom wall. The same lips that smiled when he unzipped. My hand was steady on the mug. Oh. I said. She nodded, eyes wide, selling the performance. I just feel unsafe. I looked at her and said the cruelest thing I could, then quit. She didn't expect that. Her mouth twitched, but she nodded. She didn't know I already had the footage. Didn't know I'd already spoken to HR. Didn't know her raise was officially rescinded the day before. Because someone sent West Bank's ethics hotline a lovely anonymous package, time-stamped clips, floor plans, and one crystal-clear audio file where she thanked Travis for the bonus and the bodywork. This wasn't revenge yet. This was chess. And I was only a few moves in. She started showering at night. That was the first change I tracked. Lara used to shower in the mornings, always humming softly as she dried her hair, filling the house with that clean, minty scent of her body wash. Then, without a word, she flipped the ritual. Late-night showers. Long ones. Door locked. Phone on silent. No music, no singing. I knew what it meant. She was washing him off. I checked the water bill. Usage was up by 40% the past 3 months. She wasn't just rinsing, she was scrubbing her sins until the skin peeled. The guilt never made it to her eyes though. Just the body. Her conscience was silent. But her pores. Her pores were screaming. It made me sick. I started cataloging the scent shifts. Her soap changed, from mint to lavender. Then, lemon. Finally, unscented. Like she was trying to erase something. Or someone. But it was too late. The truth clung to her like steam. One night I waited outside the bathroom. When she stepped out in her robe, damp hair sticking to her neck, I said, "That new scent suits you." She froze. A flicker of something passed through her eyes, confusion. Guilt? But it vanished. "Just trying something new," she said, shrugging. I nodded. Always evolving. She smiled, kissed my cheek, and went to bed. I watched her walk away and knew the lipstick stain on my shirt from 2 days ago had never been noticed. She hadn't looked. Hadn't cared. She was too busy calculating alibis to see her husband stop playing stupid. The next day, I met with Sam. Sam's a cybersecurity consultant I once helped out on a freelance project, smart, discreet, and expensive. Over lunch, I slid a USB across the table. "Need full data recovery," I said. "Phone backups. Cloud syncs. Deleted messages. Everything." He looked at me. "Is this legal?" I didn't blink. "It's my account." It was a lie, but technically, Lara and I shared devices under one plan. The law didn't need to know the rest. He nodded. "Give me 3 days." I gave him 2. While he worked, I played dumb. Lara played busy. Late nights. Makeup always perfect when she came home, even at 11 p.m. bank life, she claimed. Quarter-end madness. I started leaving little traps. I'd accidentally leave her favorite wine uncorked. Set the dinner table. Light candles. Just enough to show interest, and give her a reason to squirm. She always walked in with a line ready. "Ah, babe, I'm exhausted," or, "You should have texted, I had takeout with the team." Then she'd kiss my forehead and vanish into the bedroom. The kisses got shorter. The stories got longer. She didn't know I was filming. Every interaction. Every lie. The GoPro in the bookshelf caught her hesitation when she entered. The pause when she saw the wine. The relief when I said, "No worries." She thought I was breaking. I was documenting. 3 days later, Sam called. "You're going to want to sit down." He dropped a drive on my desk, along with a printed transcript. Hundreds of texts. Voice notes. Screenshots. A trove of filth dressed as flattery. "You drive me crazy when you wear that gray pencil skirt. I can't stop thinking about yesterday, the way you said my name. Once you're promoted, we'll go to Turks. Just us." Her replies weren't passive. They were surgical. "You're a dangerous man, Travis. I love it. Can't wait for our little review tonight. Jordan suspects nothing. He thinks you harass me. LOL." I didn't cry. Didn't rage. I read every message, every emoji, every attached photo of her posing in the mirror like a prize being offered to the highest bidder. Then I printed them all. Bound them. Labeled the folder, performance reviews, and placed it inside her work bag, right above her laptop. That night, she came home early. Travis got pulled into a board meeting, she said. I grabbed Ty on the way. You hungry? I nodded. Starving. She smiled, poured wine, reheated noodles. Played house. I watched her move through the kitchen. The way she wiped the counter twice. The way she avoided eye contact. Something was off. She could feel a shift, like prey sensing a trap too late. Halfway through dinner, she excused herself. I waited. A minute later, from the bedroom, a rustle, then silence. Then footsteps. She came back with the folder in her hand. You went through my bag, she asked, voice thin. No, I said. I just added something. Her fingers trembled as she opened it. I didn't speak. Just watched her face as every lie she ever told slid into her lap like a confession. She didn't cry. She closed the folder. And whispered, you don't understand. I sipped my wine. Try me. You don't understand, she said again, gripping the folder like it had teeth. I didn't answer. I let silence sit between us, thick and sharp. She stared at me, eyes darting like she was scanning for a line, a crack, an exit. This isn't what it looks like. Classic. I raised one eyebrow. Nothing else. Didn't speak. Just let her talk. She licked her lips, a nervous tick I'd seen 100 times when she was cornered but trying to stay composed. She stepped forward, folder still pressed to her chest like a shield. Okay. Yes. Some of those texts are real, she started, voice shaking slightly. But you have to understand the context. Travis, he's manipulative. He's been pressuring me for months. I didn't know how to say no without risking my job. Is that why you're planning Turks and Caicos? I asked. Flat. No heat. She blinked. A beat too long. That was sarcasm. Flirting. I was stringing him along. I was trying to protect myself. By sending him lingerie photos. Her mouth opened, then closed. A small breath escaped. I had to make him think I was into it. I laughed. Quiet. Disbelieving. So you fake desire better than you fake love? That hit. She flinched. Just for a second. Jordan, please, she said, stepping closer. I didn't want this. I was scared. You have no idea the pressure I've been under. Travis, he controls everything. Promotions, layoffs, evaluations. If I pissed him off, you'd lose your raise. I interrupted. Her face hardened for a flash, like the real Lara was clawing through the mask. But she caught herself. Softened. Swallowed it. I was just trying to survive. You told him I believed you thought he was harassing you. You laughed about it. I leaned back. That's not survival. That's strategy. She sat down, hard. I didn't mean for it to go this far. You went to his house, I said. Twice last month. She froze. Yeah. I saw the gate cam footage. Tesla pulls in at 7:42 p.m., leaves at 11:06. The second time, you stayed overnight. His security system logged it. Now she looked pale. I watched her. Let her unravel. You've been tracking me. I've been observing, I said. You stopped being my wife the moment you started scripting lies before sunrise. She looked down at her hands, like they'd betrayed her. Look, she said, voice lower now. Yes, I made a mistake. But you've been distant for months. You barely touch me. You're always buried in work. I felt invisible. There it was. The pivot. The quiet suggestion that maybe, just maybe, I had pushed her into someone else's arms. The slow turning of the blame wheel. You told your friends I was boring, I said. That I didn't satisfy you. That you stayed for stability, not love. She looked up sharply. Who told you that? I didn't answer. I never reveal my sources. Silence again. I was angry when I said that, she muttered. You weren't angry, I said. You were honest. Anger just made it easier to say. Her eyes filled, but no tears fell. She wasn't sorry. She was cornered. And she hated it. You recorded me, she asked suddenly, tone shifting. You volunteered the truth, I said. I just made sure it stuck. She stood, pacing now. The panic was starting to spread. She was calculating outcomes, fallout, escape plans. Are you going to divorce me? She asked, like it was an afterthought. Depends, I said. On what? Whether you want to keep lying or start trading truths. That stopped her. She looked at me, trying to read the angle. What do you want from me, Jordan? I stood slowly, walked past her, and paused at the hallway. Right now. I said. I want you to sit with the weight of everything you buried. No spin. No stories. Just silence. You've had the stage for long enough. Then I left her there, standing in the kitchen, next to cold noodles and a folder full of her own words. I didn't slam the door. I didn't raise my voice. I just let the stillness speak for me. She booked us a therapy appointment. I didn't ask. Didn't suggest it. She emailed me the link to a joint session with a woman named Dr. Harper and wrote, I just want to understand each other again. Not, I'm sorry. Not, I betrayed you. Not, let me explain the photo I sent in a conference room with my boss's belt in my mouth. No. She wanted mutual understanding. I went. Not for her, but to watch her try to scrub her soul clean in front of a stranger. The office was exactly what you'd expect. Dim lights. Soothing music. Diffuser pumping fake eucalyptus into the air like the smell alone could solve years of rot. Dr. Harper was polite. Soft-voiced. She shook my hand and offered us tea. Lara took peppermint. I took nothing. We sat. The doctor asked how long we'd been together. Lara answered before I could. Married 7 years. Together for 9. Dr. Harper nodded. And what brings you in today? Lara turned to me, eyes glistening, voice small. We're struggling with communication. That's what she called it. I said nothing. Lara, do you want to share a bit more? The therapist prompted. I've been feeling distant from Jordan, she began, voice trembling. Like we're on different islands. I made mistakes. I know that. But it wasn't malicious. It was a cry for help. I looked at her. The way she folded her hands. The way she angled her body slightly toward the therapist, not me. She was performing. Dr. Harper turned to me. Jordan, would you like to respond? Lara had an affair with her boss, I said. She lied about being harassed. Used me as cover. Played victim while seducing someone with more power. Silence. Lara's eyes filled again. It wasn't like that. Dr. Harper blinked. That's a significant statement. Lara. Lara sighed. He pursued me first. He had influence. He knew my weaknesses. So you leaned in? I said. Or just unzipped? Her voice cracked. Jordan. Dr. Harper held up a hand. Let's keep language respectful. This space is for healing. I smiled. I'm not here to heal. I'm here to witness. They both looked at me. I want her lies on record, I said. Every revision. Every twist. I want to hear the new script she's writing. Dr. Harper shifted in her seat. That's not a collaborative mindset. I'm not collaborating, I said. I'm collecting. Lara sat forward, the facade cracking. You think you've never made mistakes. You've been emotionally absent for years. Distant. Cold. I tried to talk to you and you shut down every time. Travis listened. And recorded you bragging about your performance reviews, I snapped. She froze. You use therapy as a shield, I said, voice low. And now you're using it as a stage. The doctor tried to interject. I ignored her. I'm not here to reconcile. I'm here to watch her dance through her own fire. Lara's hands balled into fists. You think you're perfect? I think I was loyal. That shut her up. After the session, she didn't speak to me in the car. Just sat there, eyes straight ahead, mouth tight. When we got home, she went straight to the bedroom and shut the door. Good. Let her stew in her own silence. I went to the den, opened the laptop, and pulled up the folder Sam had given me, one I hadn't opened yet. It was labeled Archived Messages, Travis Backup 2. Inside were voice memos. One from 3 weeks ago. She's clever, man. Playing the victim like a damn pro. Keeps talking about how her husband's too disconnected to notice anything. Says I'm the only one who really sees her. I click play again. Let the words sink in. He didn't even sound proud, just amused. Like it was all a game to him. Then I checked the timestamp. Same day she came home crying and told me HR had brushed off her harassment complaint. She'd been in his office that morning. She came home, curled up in my arms, and sobbed. Oscar-worthy. I downloaded the audio. Labeled it, false report, perjury risk. Then I opened another folder, my lawyer's. The one with our prenup copy. The clause about infidelity. The part where she loses equity, car rights, and half her bonus structure if proven unfaithful. This wasn't just betrayal. This was fraud. And I was done observing. It was time to prepare. The camera never blinked. Hidden in the smoke detector above the living room couch, it had recorded 22 hours of footage over 2 weeks. Enough to draw a map of deceit. Monday, 7:12 p.m., Lara on a call, pacing barefoot in leggings. She said, "I miss you," twice. Then whispered, "He's in the next room." Wednesday, 6:39 p.m., Travis's car parked 2 blocks down. She walked out in a hoodie. Returned 3 hours later. Smudged lipstick. No groceries. Saturday, 10:08 a.m., she stood at the dining table flipping through the mail. Found the Westbank performance bonus letter. Smiled. I knew that smile. It wasn't joy. It was triumph. That afternoon, I built the file. A 3-ring binder, black, no label. Inside. 17 printed text exchanges between her and Travis, with timestamps and location metadata. 6 screenshots from the smoke detector cam. 3 audio files transcribed, including the one where Travis laughs and says, "You should get an Oscar for this harassment gig." A bank transaction showing a $4,500 deposit tagged, exec bonus. And last, 2 copies of the prenup clause on infidelity and reputational damage. One highlighted. The other signed. I placed the folder in her home office. Right next to the photo of us on a ski trip we never repeated. I didn't leave a note. Didn't send a warning. The truth doesn't need an announcement. I left for the day. Took my laptop, went to a quiet cafe 2 neighborhoods over. While sipping burnt coffee, I opened a chat with my lawyer. Me, file initiation ready. Draft delivery protocol. Him, hard or soft drop? Me, hard. I want her cornered. No wiggle room. He sent me a template. A clean, no-nonsense email with subject line, notice of intent to divorce, cause, breach of prenuptial contract. I filled in the blanks. Attached 3 selected exhibits from the binder. And saved it as a draft. Not yet. Let her read the folder first. At 6:42 p.m., she texted. "We need to talk. Please." I didn't answer. 7:11 p.m. "Jordan, I don't even know where to begin. This is insane. Can we please just talk?" I muted the thread. When I got home at 8:02, the house was dim. She was sitting at the dining table, the binder open in front of her like a murder scene she couldn't unsee. Her face pale, eyes wide. Mouth set. "You planned this," she said. I nodded once. "Yes. You were spying on me." "I was gathering evidence." "That's sick." "No," I said. Sick is lying to someone while using their empathy as camouflage. She stood, hands on the table. "You humiliated me." "No," I repeated. "I exposed you." The humiliation came from what you did, not from being caught. Her breath hitched. She picked up the prenup page. You're really doing this? I pointed at the clause. You signed it. You broke it. You lose. Her hand trembled. You destroy me over a mistake. This wasn't a mistake, I said. It was a campaign. You told HR you were being harassed while willingly sleeping with the same man. That's perjury. That's corporate liability. You framed him to cover your affair, then leveraged it for a raise. I didn't frame him. You called him a predator in 3 separate statements, I interrupted. Meanwhile, you were sexting him on company Wi-Fi. She sank into the chair. I could send this to the board, I said calmly. To HR. To his wife. I haven't. Yet. Her voice cracked. Please don't. I'm not a monster, I said. I'm just not your cover anymore. Silence fell. Long crushing. She whispered, what do you want from me? I slid a paper across the table. A pre-drafted confession. It stated, in her handwriting, that she falsified claims of harassment, engaged in an undisclosed sexual relationship with a superior, and willingly violated company ethics guidelines and the marital agreement. If you sign it, I said, I won't bury you. She looked at me, really looked. For the first time in months. Maybe years. And I saw it, not guilt, not shame, just calculation. How little could she lose? How much could she salvage? Then she picked up the pen. She signed it. Dated. Initialed. No protest. No crying. Just a flick of the pen and a quiet, what happens now? I didn't answer. Because it had already started. 2 days earlier, I'd met with an internal contact at Westbank, someone in compliance. I brought a copy of the binder. Redacted names, blurred dates, just enough to provoke interest without tipping full exposure. Told him I was a third party concerned about a breach involving a senior employee and potential fraudulent behavior tied to sexual misconduct. Didn't say Lara. Didn't say Travis. I let the document speak. His response was quiet. Professional. He asked to keep the copy. I nodded. Told him he'd get the rest soon, through proper legal channels. Now Lara sat in our dining room staring at her own confession. I made a mistake, she said again, voice flat. Mistake. The word was getting tired. I stood up. Went to the hallway closet. Pulled down a lockbox and slid it onto the table. She watched, confused. What's that? I opened it. Inside were 4 thumb drives. Drive 1, security footage from Travis's condo. 2 timestamps showing Lara entering with a bag and leaving in a bathrobe. Drive 2, audio of Travis joking with a coworker about nailing someone under harassment insurance. Drive 3, the full export of their deleted messages, synced from Lara's iCloud backup months ago, before she realized her laptop autologged everything. Drive 4, a copy of her confession, scanned, timestamped, backed up. She didn't speak. Travis loses his wife, I said. You lose your job. Unless I decide to walk away and let karma work slower. She blinked. His wife. I nodded. I sent her an anonymous Dropbox link. Full audio. She got it yesterday. Her face paled. I told her she deserved to know where her husband spent Tuesday nights, I added. She replied with one word, handled. Lara's mouth opened, but nothing came out. Your promotion, I said, is being reevaluated. My contact at Westbank flagged your bonus to ethics. You're destroying me, she whispered. No, I said. I'm revealing you. Then I reached into the box and pulled out a manila envelope. Inside, divorce papers. Clean. Legally binding. Informed by her confession, structured around the prenup. She opened the envelope with trembling hands. Her eyes scanned the front page, then dropped to the clause about asset forfeiture. I lose everything, she said. Not everything, I replied. You keep your clothes. And your name. Everything else resets. You said you wouldn't bury me. I said if you signed, I wouldn't. And I haven't. Yet. She stared down at the papers, then up at me. What happens to Travis? I smiled. Just a little. He's about to be the subject of a very awkward conversation with the board. Westbank doesn't like lawsuits. Or press. She swallowed hard. And if he tries to discredit you, I said, I've got a copy of your messages admitting the whole thing was consensual. You're using my lies against me, she said. No, I corrected. I'm just returning them. She looked down at the pen again. This is insane. No, I said. This is clarity. Something you've avoided for 2 years. She signed the papers. Every page. Every initial. Didn't argue. Didn't try to spin. Just signed. And I realized something in that moment, she wasn't sorry. Not really. She was calculating. How to land softer. Where to pivot next. Who to fool after me. I gathered the papers. Filed them back into the folder. Locked the box. Then I handed her a prepaid phone. Use this number to talk to my attorney, I said. Your number's being disconnected tonight. You're erasing me, she said. No, I said. I'm just setting you free. That night, I slept in the guest room. Locked the door. Set an alarm for 6 a.m. At 5:17, I woke to the sound of her crying in the kitchen. She didn't knock. Didn't beg. Just let the house carry the sound of her regret. It didn't reach me. I'd already left. Monday morning came like a funeral. She woke up alone. The master bedroom was stripped, no clothes, no charger, no trace. I'd been gone since dawn. Moved into a furnished short-term rental across town. Left no note. No keys. Just a text from my lawyer, Laura, all communication must now go through counsel. Per the agreement, vacate the property by Thursday 5 p.m. At 8 a.m., she arrived at work. By 8:07, she was pulled into HR. I didn't witness it, but I know the schedule. My contact inside had texted me, she just walked in. They're waiting. The office had received the full compliance report at 6:12 a.m. sharp. Anonymous, but complete. Her confession. Her texts. The bonus deposit tied to extra hours. Travis's voice calling it a fun way to motivate staff. There were no accusations in the file. Just evidence. That's what made it lethal. At 8:41, Travis arrived. He was called in at 9:10. By 9:34, 2 members of Westbank's legal team joined them. By 10:03, Lara's keycard was deactivated. At 10:16, I received an auto-generated email. Jordan Blake. Your whistleblower file has been formally reviewed and accepted. Thank you for your integrity. I didn't smile. Didn't lean back and exhale. I just closed the laptop. Outside, it started to rain. A soft, steady drizzle that made the windows look like they were crying. Fitting. At noon, my lawyer called. She's in shock, he said. Didn't realize you'd moved so quickly. She never thought I'd act at all, I replied. That afternoon, I sent one final file to Travis's wife. This time, no Dropbox link. FedEx envelope. Signature required. Inside, a hard copy of the transcripts. The vacation plans. The photos. The time-stamped stills of Lara leaving his house in nothing but a coat. The label on the folder, for your legal counsel. That night, I received a text from a number I didn't recognize. You've done enough. Please stop. I deleted it without replying. The next day, Lara came by the house. She didn't knock. Just stood outside the door with a duffel bag and that hollow look people get after an earthquake. The locks had already been changed. She rang the bell once. Waited. Then again. I watched through the camera. Her face. Her posture. The way her shoulders curled inward. After 5 minutes, she left. The next time I saw her was through a glass wall. I was at a cafe. She walked by on the sidewalk, arms crossed, talking on the phone. Dressed down. Hair tied back. No makeup. A different woman, stripped of position, polished lies gone. She didn't see me. I watched her pass. Didn't wave. Didn't flinch. Later that night, my lawyer confirmed the assets were frozen per the agreement. The car she drove, in my name. Reclaimed. The joint accounts, closed. Severance, blocked pending internal investigation. She'd taken years to build her little empire of illusion. It collapsed in 7 days. All I did was tip the first stone. And watch the pattern follow. She showed up at my office. It was a Thursday. Rain again. Like the sky was stuck in the same loop she was. I walked out of a meeting and there she was, standing in the lobby in a tan coat and ruined mascara. Her face said it all, broken, maybe. But still scheming. "Jordan," she whispered, stepping toward me. "Please." I didn't stop. Just looked at the receptionist. "Call security if she doesn't leave in 5 minutes." Lara flinched. "Don't do that. I just need 10 minutes. I turned. Not toward her. Toward the hallway. "You have too." She followed me into a side conference room. Empty glass box. No table, no chair. Just light and echoes. "You've made your point," she started. I said nothing. "You've destroyed everything." Still silent. "I lost my job. My apartment's next. I'm getting threats. Someone posted about me on Reddit." Now she looked up, eyes raw. "Do you want me dead? Is that what this is?" I blinked slowly. "Are you asking for sympathy?" "No," she snapped, voice cracking. "I'm asking for mercy." I studied her. Really looked. Same eyes I fell for. Same mouth that whispered "I love you" in the dark. Same face I imagined a future with. But now. Just a ruin in designer boots. "I gave you a way out," I said. "You chose the scenic route." She stepped forward. "Jordan, I get it. I was wrong. I was selfish. I destroyed what we had." "No," I said. "You sold it." She paused. "What do you want from me?" she asked. "Do you want me to go public? Say I lied. Clear your name. Name Travis. I'll do it." Now she was bartering. The final weapon. I waited. "You want the world to see me fall on a sword," she pressed. I stepped forward, closed the space between us. "No," I said quietly. "I want you forgotten." She blinked. "I don't want your apology. I don't want your story. I want to live a life where your name never enters a room again." She swallowed. "You'll move on," she said, almost bitter. "You'll meet someone. Tell her about the crazy ex who ruined everything." "No," I said. "I won't talk about you at all." That landed. She looked at the floor. "You always were the colder one." "No," I said. "I just learned to stop warming your side of the bed." She stood there for a few seconds. Then nodded slowly. "I guess this is it. It was over the moment you made him your secret." She turned to leave. At the door, she hesitated. "One day, you'll look back and wonder if you went too far." I smiled without warmth. "No. I'll wonder why I waited so long." She left. Didn't turn around. Didn't text after. Didn't show up again. 2 hours later, my lawyer confirmed the settlement terms were signed. She waived all rights to the house, car, savings. No alimony. No payout. Just silence in exchange for non-prosecution. It was done. All of it. Final. And I didn't feel triumphant. Or vindicated. Or even clean. I just felt light. Like I'd set down a body I'd been carrying for years, thinking it was still alive. The divorce finalized on a Tuesday. No court date. No courtroom drama. Just PDFs with digital signatures and a quiet confirmation email from my lawyer, all terms executed. File closed. It didn't feel like freedom. It felt like silence. I changed my number that afternoon. Cancelled the Spotify account we shared. Bought a new mattress. Burned the old sheets. They still smelled like her shampoo. Lavender. Lies. I boxed the photos. The wedding one with the golden hour light. The ski trip where we looked happy. The anniversary dinner she spent texting someone else. I didn't shred them. Didn't burn them. I just taped the box shut and labeled it, "No return." I moved to a new place. Smaller. Clean. 1 bedroom. No photos on the walls. Just glass and steel and space. No memories. No landmines. At work, they asked if I was okay. I said yes. I wasn't, but that wasn't their business. People like clean stories. Divorce is an easy line. Say it once and they nod, offer a sad smile, and move on. I didn't explain. I didn't owe them anything. Travis. He resigned quietly. Family reasons, the email said. No farewell party. No send-off. Just a vanishing. His wife filed within 2 weeks. She kept the house. Lara disappeared from Westbank's internal directory. Last I heard, she was doing freelance consulting. Rebuilding. Or pretending to. She reached out once more. A blank email. No subject. No text. Just an attachment. A photo. Her and me. From college. Before the rot. Before the scripts. We were sitting on a dorm couch, laughing. I was holding a coffee. She had her hand on my knee. I stared at it for a long time. Then I deleted it. No reply. No drama. Just, gone. That's the part they never show you in the movies, the absence. Not the screaming, not the rage, not the dramatic goodbyes. Just the emptiness that follows. The silence of a door that never opens again. I go on long walks now. No destination. Just movement. Noise-canceling headphones. No music. Just wind. Sometimes, I pass couples. Hand in hand. Laughing. Whispering. Starting their chapters. And I feel nothing. Not bitterness. Not jealousy. Nothing. Because when the storm ends, you don't stand in sunshine. You stand in wreckage. And you decide whether to build again. I'm not building yet. But I'm not buried under her ruins either. Not anymore.